everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. And for the Grue Rume Show today, we got two very special guests and two guests I'm really looking forward to talking to. And their names are Isabella Blake Thomas and Matt Cornett. I am Rocco Cross, as you could tell already. I am the host that stutters, and I am the host of the Grue Room. And we're going to talk about a new horror thriller coming out called Karma's a Bitch. And Karma is a bitch too. So I'm really looking forward to talking about the film, how they came up with the title, and it's just going to be a fun time talking about a great thriller film that Tony Todd from Candyman is also starring in, and Natasha from Species. So yeah, it has a really good cast. If you're a fan of the sci-fi horror world, it definitely has a cast of some names that you're going to recognize, including them two. And Isabella Blake Thomas, she's really amazing. She acts, she stars in it, she wrote it, she directs it. Matt Cornett, of course, from High School Musical the series. So it's definitely a film worth checking out. Uh, I am Rocco Cross, as I said, the host at Stutters. This is my Grue Room, and as always, welcome to my nightmare. Stay tuned. Gonna be a fun time. Okay, welcome to Grue, and thank you both for coming on and being part of it. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you for having us.
Definitely, yes. So, like, the first thing I want to start out asking is for you, Isabella, like, what inspired you to want to write and make the movie, and how did you come up with such a great title?
Well, I wish I could say I coined the phrase, but I was a couple hundred years too late, I'm pretty sure. The concept for the film honestly started from an idea that we had years ago and has evolved into what it is today. I wish I could say that it was as easy as just going, oh, let's make this movie and suddenly doing it overnight. But it definitely evolved from something. And honestly, I can't even remember what it evolved from. I just know over the years it's become what it is today. I know that last year was when we really cracked down and started doing revisions and rewrites, and because we knew we were going to be shooting it. So it went from a script that I had an idea that just kind of kept changing and moving to actually something that we decided to make. So that was the process of the actual script. I know the stories and the characters that I created for the story that we actually produced came a lot from my own life experiences and people I know. There's a lot of characters and a lot of characteristics that are inspired by people around me, because it's what makes the characters become human and creates well-rounded people. I mean, it was such a fun concept to create because I got to use all the people that I know and love in the movie, and so I got to bring their mannerisms to it. I mean, we had Zooms, and I know Matt can talk to this, talking about the characters and just bringing in these little things that make them human, and it was just a really fun process to create the movie that it is today. And the title obviously came from the famous phrase, and it all just came together in one beautiful little package.
Wow. Okay. Nice. and Matt, how did you get to be part of this great film?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, Isabella is the mastermind between everything that happened on this movie. But my team came to me and they were like, "Hey, there's this project that I think is happening, and maybe would you want to like read something for it really quick and send it over and see what you think and see what they think?" And I was like, "Absolutely!" And obviously, I knew it was Isabella's movie, and I was like, I think I texted Isabella immediately and was like, "Hey, so what do I need to know?"
I have the photo you sent me of you and Pierce going, "I just want to tape for this movie."
Yes, yeah, because at the time, so I'm very close with Pierce as well. We worked on another project together, and so he and I like worked on some stuff together with it, and yeah, I mean, I was immediately extremely excited. I texted her and I was like, "What do I need to know? Tell me what I need to do. Help me through this." And yeah, it was a very seamless, easy process, but I was just immediately stoked to get it to come through from her.
Matt's so talented, honestly. I make the joke in my head because I have to preface before I make the joke if it pays to know the producers. But at the end of the day, Matt's very talented and I wanted him for the role as well. So I'm very glad that he said yes, because he didn't need to. I was like, I'm not holding you to this. I'm not going to suddenly never talk to you again.
Oh, yeah.
But,
She pulled me into a room and held me for ransom, and
I did
told me that if I don't do it, that
I will never speak to him again, and I will kidnap his dog and she becomes mine. That's what.
Yeah. No, verbatim. That's what happened. I mean, you
know, it gets really serious when you threaten to take someone's dog.
That was the turning point. He went, well, I guess I have to do it now.
Yeah. All was fine until the dog was brought into the mix.
Yeah, you know, it's fine. You could threaten me, say you're gonna punch me and beat me up, but as soon as you mention my dog, and I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
You can have what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. I love it. And Isabella, like, you are also the lead for the film too. So can you tell us a little bit about the role you play for the movie?
I can indeed. I think the benefits of being the writer means I know everything there is to know about this character, and sometimes that helps, but sometimes it can be a hindrance. So my character Charlie is spelt with a Y. It's very important. I'm not sure why, it just is. But she is a high schooler. She's soon to be graduating. She's just moved to a new town, which is called Latigo Springs. Her mum passed away a few months previously, and so she's sort of dealing with not only turmoil of just being a teenager and also an LGBTQ plus teenager, but also the fact that she just lost her mum. I mean, it's a huge thing for anyone to deal with, let alone at that age. And also while she's figuring out who she is as a person and who she is with her sexuality, she's got a lot on her plate. And then on top of that, she has this curse, which is kind of thrown into the mix as well, where she has the power to inflict karma on people, even though she's not in control of it. And so she's just dealing with a lot of stuff. But she's strong at the end of the day, just like we all have to be in this modern day world. And she's got her vulnerabilities too. And those are very much accepted by her love interest in the movie. And I'm not going to go into too much detail, but they're very accepted by her love interest. And she's able to come out on the other end of this journey as a very full, well-rounded person, which I think is a really beautiful thing that we all sort of hope for in life.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I'm not fully there yet, but I'm trying to get there.
It's what we all work for on a daily basis, because just when we think we've got to hang on it, something else happens.
Yeah, exactly. And Matt, can you tell us a little bit about who you play as well?
Yeah, so I mean, I play Niles, and first of all, one of my favorite things about it, about the movie, was just the community that this friend group has, and this history that they have, and as Isabella spoke about a little earlier, was we had a Zoom before everything to just kind of get together and be like, hey, these people have known each other for a very long time. They have all kinds of chemistry. They have all kinds of history with each other, jokes, inside jokes, background story. Like, they have all this stuff together. So like, let's talk through that. And I know for Niall specifically, he's your typical sports guy. He loves to mess around, loves to joke around. And his best friend Paolo is just a big goofball. The big goofball as well. The bromance of the year. And first of all, Pedro was wonderful to work with, and he's incredible and hilarious. And it was really, really fun getting to kind of, play with him and mess around with him. And because for me, some of my favorite things to do is to do improv, like just with little things
nice.
here and there. I love taking a moment that could be super serious and making a joke out of it. And so, first of all, I have to thank Isabella for letting me do that, because I think there were a lot of moments that I did it, and maybe more than I should have. However, I think before we started, I was like, how much can I mess around with this? Like, obviously I'll stick to the script and I'll stick to kind of like the storyline and all that, but how much can I add to it and mess around and joke? And if I remember right, she was like, "Oh my God, as long as you stick to the script and stick to the story and don't, change any huge plot points, do whatever you want."
Yeah.
And so that was like such a freeing thing and a fun thing. And Pedro and I had such a fun time getting to mess around with that stuff. And
there was this I really want to do a blooper reel, by the way, side note, Matt, because I think it's going to just be hilarious with everything that happened on set with all of us. But I just remember, I'm laughing because I remember so many of the scenes that I'm off camera and I'm watching you guys in the scene and I'm just crying with laughter because I'm trying not to make a sound because they're filming and they're just, I think we used pretty much all of your moments because it just became this really fun characteristic. It's one of the reasons, honestly, that like I love hiring actors that have that skill because I'm like, there's so many people that can memorize words, so many people that can do what you tell them to do, but there aren't many people in this world. And when I say many, I'm not talking like 2 or 3, but there aren't many that actually have the ability to create a character as you're doing it. And it's why I like hiring talented actors like Matt, because he's able to do that, and he brings the words off the page and makes it a person, which is what caused me to be crying with laughter. as was my mum, who also directed it. She was also crying with laughter behind the camera.
Wow,
it worked out. It was a fun day on set every day.
It was very, very fun, and I had such a good time with it, and I felt like Niles was a very easy person to, I think I cut out. Oh, there I am. I think Niles is a very easy person to get kind of mess around with in that sense. Just because he is, your typical sports lover, jockey, kind of a little bit of a dick every now and then, but also a sweet guy. And it was a lot of fun. And then, you obviously have, well, I actually don't want to say that because that's probably a little bit of a spoiler. So I'm going to refrain from saying that.
It's one of the benefits of working for companies that have spoilers in things. You get really used to not telling spoilers.
Yes.
Well,
Wait, I can't say that. Never mind. Rewind. Erase what I'm thinking.
You get that phone call from the Men in Black after.
You're like, oh. I must leave the country. I appreciate it. I appreciate the lack of spoilers there. But it's funny as well. You're making me think, because the more I think about the characters and what I created, when you're saying like, even though Niles can kind of be a jerk, he's still a sweet guy. I think that's one of the things I created for the characters in the friend group, was that I didn't want it to be too stereotypical of the jock, the nerd, the what have you, because even though that obviously stems from somewhere in real life, I think there's so much more to people. And like Matt was saying, is that all these characters have such history together that even if some of them are mean to each other, by the end of the day, they're absolutely fine.
It's coming out of love. Like, it's coming out of love and the friendship that they have with each other. Like, I don't think there's any moment in the film where Niles is really just a jerk. There's not. There's the moments where he's like super sarcastic with Paolo and super playful with people, but it's all coming out of love, and it's all like, there's no true like mean-heartedness out of really anybody in the film. Well,
I mean, sure.
He's like, well,
yeah.
Except one person, which every movie has to have in some way.
Of course.
Every movie has to have that, and it was definitely that's a fun part. Writing opposition is always fun.
Yeah.
Well, Isabella, like, I was gonna ask you what the film was about, but I think you already said that.
I'll give you a nutshell version. How's that? Just so you have it in case you want to use it for anything. The movie is basically about a young girl called Charlie, with a Y, as previously mentioned, who moves to this town called Latigo Springs after the death of her mother to kind of find her new life. And while she's also living with this curse where she has the power to inflict karma on people out of her control, she also has to sort of avenge her mother's death and figure out why her mother was going back to that town in the first place, and navigate a very, very exciting and fun villain as well, which gives us some great fight scenes at the end of the movie. But that's always a fun journey. So she's got a lot of stuff going on her plate, and she ends up just having this really cool curse and power that she has to learn to deal with. It's kind of it in a nutshell without giving too many spoilers.
Well, yeah, of course. And Matt, like, what drew you to the role, and what do you like about playing Niles? And without your dog being threatened, on what drew you to the role?
Yeah, no, I think first of all, the biggest thing that drew me to it was Isabella and the people
Yeah.
tied to it. Like, she's so wonderful. Her mother's so wonderful, and they're incredible people. Sorry, she is a pain to work with, and it is really no, but it was so much fun, and I knew going into it, if I did this, it was going to be so much fun, and I was going to have a blast doing it. So that was like the biggest thing, but then also the script was so good. Like, I remember reading the script and just thinking, first of all, I love horror. I love anything that is like any kind of horror, thriller, anything. I love that. And I've never really done a horror movie or a thriller or any kind of movie along those lines. So this was my first like go around with it. And so it was, a lot of fun, and a lot of fun moments to figure out and kind of like dive into. And like I said, I also love getting to be a little bit of the comic relief in a movie that's a little bit more on the serious side of things. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I truly think the biggest thing that drew me to it was just, the people that were tied to it and the people that were making it. And I knew at the end of the day that it had a solid foundation with Isabella and her mom, creating this world. And so I knew it was going to do so wonderfully.
Oh, that's so sweet. I could listen to compliments all night. Well, I appreciate that. And it's funny as well, because I feel like there's a handful of people that know how you and I met, but also many people that don't. And it makes me laugh, because I think I sometimes forget how we actually met, and how Matt and I met was through my first music video. So the first single I ever released, played the love interest in my music video, which always makes me laugh, because obviously we're such good friends now. And going back to when we first met, I was like, yeah, he'll do for this. Yeah. So that was how we first met. And I think it obviously paid off all these years later to then have this. So I'm glad we were able to stay friends throughout this, because it worked out.
First of many.
Yes.
I was just thinking we should write a movie where you're the villain.
Please, can we please? Oh my God.
You're like, yes.
I would love that. Oh.
As someone who's been a villain before, it's really fun.
I want to be the bad guy.
You definitely should.
Let's do that. Let's actually sit down and brainstorm and find something that you want to do, and let's create. That's what I did. I made a character I wanted to be. That's why we're here.
Let's do it.
Matt loves horror. You can make him be the next slasher, like the next Freddy or Jason.
But it's like the typical, like, the guy you don't suspect, and then like in the movie you're like, oh my God.
Let's do it. You started something, Rocco. We're gonna do it now.
There you go.
I'd like to thank Rocco for
little gold statue. Yeah, for being the next slasher. Like, I mean, speak of slashers, did anyone you see that creepy clown Art the Clown and Terrifier?
No.
Oh my God, that is so creepy. That movie.
I can't be watching things like that. I had to watch my own movie.
Yeah. So what do you both love most about doing horror?
For me, honestly, I think it's the stunt factor. I got to do some fun stuff in this one. I mean, I wasn't thrown 50 feet in the air, which would have been super fun, but I got to do some fun stuff nonetheless, some fun fight scenes and some fun stunt training with our amazing stunt coordinator, Nikki. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm there going, all right, when can we throw me on the dirt? And they're like, Isabella, you need a double. I'm like, no, use me. And they're like, no, we can't. That's not allowed because of insurance. So I'm like, I'm like, put me in the dirt. But I did get to do a lot of fun stuff nonetheless, of having an amazing stunt double. And I think that was probably my favorite part for the horror aspect, because you get some fun fight stuff.
Yeah, I think mine would probably be something similar. I mean, obviously I've not done really a lot of horror at all, so I don't have a lot to pull from. However, I do know from watching and then also doing this, what I love so much is there's so many practical effects and also just effects that go along with horror. And like, I know, in a lot of horror, there's a lot of blood, and there's a lot of like broken bones, and there's a lot of like stuff that you have to figure out how to do. And a lot of times it's so fun getting to do these things practically and have like, well, I don't even know because I've never done it, but I know there's like the blood capsules in your teeth that you can bite in your teeth, and it makes it look like your mouth's bleeding, and like anything like that, I think is so much fun. And it's so impressive to me, always kind of getting with the art department or the hair and makeup department when they have to do any kind of anything to people's face or prosthetics or just any kind of practical effect is so much fun. And I think there's a lot of that in the horror world, and that's so for me.
Well, we have a really fun blood moment, and I'm not going to share who it's with, but in the film that Matt got to witness, which was it's always fun to see as well how the practical effects are done and the way the camera cuts are used so cleverly, and it's just it's always an interesting thing to watch happen as well.
Oh, sweet. I'm loving what I'm hearing. And being a horror fan, I mean, I know you said, Matt, you're a horror fan, and how was it like for both of you to work with a horror icon, Candyman himself, Tony Todd?
I mean, for me, it was kind of crazy because he joined the project earlier than anyone else did. And so I sort of had this in my mind as I was doing revisions of Tony. And so it was a really interesting way to work because I was obviously on the project already. And then Tony came along and I know. And so Tony came along. And so being able to do those revisions and changes with an actual person in mind was like a gift, because writers don't get to do that unless you've been told by Adam Sandler that you're writing a movie for Adam Sandler. You don't have a character in mind. You have to create someone in your head. So I was creating this amazing person around an icon, and then getting to actually work with him on set was, I mean, it's terrifying because when you're doing this where he's supposed to be very still, you're like, oh my God, it's Tony Todd, he's gonna kill me. Oh my God, it's Tony. Even if he's being really nice, it's just Tony Todd. So straight away, you're like,
big guy.
Oh my God, what's happening? So I kind of had to remind myself that I was acting with him. Even, I mean, he gives me a flower at the beginning of the movie, and even that, my Isabella side went, oh my God, it's Tony Todd. And then stay in the moment, even though there was nothing scary about that. It's Tony Todd. I mean, how are you not going to be terrified? But he's so talented, and doing scenes with him was just a dream because he gives you so many little things to work off of.
And without you, Matt, like set with Tony, like I know you probably can't say if you were in scenes with him, but just being on set.
Sure. Okay, well,
you can say ditto if you want to, just to keep
ditto. Ditto. Yeah, here's the thing. Obviously, I'm such a huge fan of his work. He's an incredible actor, and he's such an iconic guy, especially in the horror world, like you said. And so, I'm just gonna say ditto because I don't want to give anything away. But truly, he's a wonderful person, and it was really, really freaking cool.
Nice. I mean, I don't know if Tony's gonna have a hook for a hand in this movie or not, but
who knows?
Yeah.
They actually gave him fairy wings. He actually becomes a fairy at the end of the movie.
The movie's actually about a tooth fairy, and
Didn't The Rock play a tooth fairy?
I think so.
I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies.
Oh my God. And, where did you guys wind up shooting at for the film?
Well, I know we shot a lot at this was it a high school?
Oh, okay.
Which, well, by the way, it was like the craziest high school I've ever seen. It's such a beautiful high school, and it's huge. I don't remember where it was actually, but I remember that it was a lot of fun. And I think I remember showing up and saying that I had shot there before for another project, and so very familiar with this high school. Yet I still have no clue where it is, what it's called, or anything like that. So
Like,
I'm gonna
I
let
know
Isabella
this
speak
place.
on this. Yes.
Well, I didn't want to be the one just answering first each time. I wanted to give you the
Well, no, please. I mean, you know more about this than I do, so
I keep forgetting that I do. I forget I'm not just an
She's
actor.
like,
Oh,
I
you
keep
forget that
forgetting I
you actually
do.
created the entire thing.
I forgot that for a millisecond. I do so many other things in the day. I forgot that I also did this last year. People are like, "What are you working on?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I also did that. That's cool." But we shot in LA. We were in LA for all of this. We were all close to home, which was lovely. I mean, the high school for us is called Crespi Carmelite High School. A little shout out to them because they're incredible and they're a great place to shoot in there. And filming is just beautiful there, as Matt said. It's in Encino, so it was nice and close for all of us. A couple minutes drive for me, which was great.
Oh, okay.
And I will say,
that's right.
my character drives a Mustang in the movie, and I got to drive a Mustang to
Oh.
set, which was really fun. That was probably my favorite part, I think, of the whole thing. That's my dream car. So driving the soft top red Mustang was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cut to me trying to talk Isabella into buying a Mustang.
Oh yeah, no, we all went for dinner, and he was like, "You should buy one." I'm like, I would if I could. I would if I could, man.
Listen, wrap gift to yourself.
Watch me just show up and be like, "It's Matt's fault." When I get a Mustang, I'm just gonna post it and be like, "This is Matt's fault."
This is Matt's fault.
That's my only caption. And you will
Should
be
I
the
buy?
person.
Should I buy a Mustang or make another movie?
Mustang. That's why I wrote the Mustang into the movie.
Yeah.
I wanted to drive it. That's why I write all these things into my movies. I want to drive the Mustang. I want to have cool fight scenes. I want to work with these people. But yeah, it was all LA. We filmed at Crespi. We filmed at Capital Arts, which is the studio that did Teen Wolf at. And
yeah.
it's a little inside, but our school happens to look identical to the Teen Wolf High School. So that was a really fun fact as well. I watched Teen Wolf the movie the other day and went,
that was really good.
The school that we filmed.
Yeah.
So that's pretty a fun little thing for the Teen Wolf lovers in there. Where else did we film? We filmed fantastic studio in is it Sun Valley? I think it's Sun Valley, called Envisionate. And then Brilliant Screen was up there as well. I mean, we had these amazing studios in LA. We also shot on a ranch up in Santa Clarita in Castaic that was they built a whole cabin for us. It was super amazing. We had some fantastic people working on the project, but it was all local. It was all LA.
I keep forgetting that we shot in at least I shot alone. I don't know, for maybe you more, but I keep forgetting that I shot in 4 different locations.
Well, we only filmed for 9 days, so it makes sense that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we only shot for 9 days. It was
wow.
quick.
Okay.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can do when you're organized.
Yeah. That's really cool. It's the school scenes are similar to Teen Wolf. I'm a big fan of the series, and when the film came out, I loved it.
Cool. So you'll know exactly what they are.
Yeah. I right before this interview, I interviewed the actress that plays Tyler Posey's mother in the film.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I just watched the movie. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Matt, it seems like you keep shooting in high schools, huh?
I do. I play a lot of high school kids. I play a lot of high school stuff.
You're never going to escape it, Matt.
Well, listen, that's why I'm growing the beard. I gotta age myself up here.
I don't think it's working.
Cut to these next auditions I have are for 16-year-olds, so I'm gonna be a 16-year-old with a beard.
With a beard, hey.
But that's what I'm saying. Is it 16 with a beard? That's realistic. That's a hard thing to pull off.
Honestly, it is.
Exactly.
I looked 4 when I was 16, but.
Hey, that's why we're actors. We all look younger than we actually are.
Was there any funny or cool behind the scenes stories that happened while you were doing the film?
Yeah, there was a lot of fun stuff that happened on set, honestly. I mean, the stuff on the ranch was fun because we had this fantastic outside space. We were doing these really cool montages of just having a fun hangout where honestly, it was supposed to be MOS, so with no sound, but I think they ended up keeping the sound in the film because we were just chatting and it was just so fun to listen to. So that was a great think that was, I mean, it's technically BTS, but also was filmed, so that was super fun. We definitely made TikToks. That was entertaining.
Oh, nice.
At the school, we were doing some TikToks and doing some dancing. I think the heat at the school was pretty entertaining. We had to be outside sitting on bleachers, and it was so hot. I think my eyeballs started boiling.
Hell.
It was hot.
It was hot.
We had umbrellas over us because when we weren't shooting, because of just that. It was in August of last year when it was like,
I was gonna say that was
degrees.
August. That's crazy. It does not feel like that long ago.
I know.
That's wild.
I know. So it was August. So it was hot, of course, because we're in the valley. And I mean, there's so much stuff that happened. Filming at Capital Arts was a blast because of all the sets we were able to look at as we were filming and during our breaks. I mean, it's funny because I realized recently, have you guys seen the Murderville TV show, Murderville, on Netflix? It's with Will Arnett. You should watch it. It's hilarious.
Oh, okay.
But it's like an improv show with actors, but only Will has the script, so everyone else is improving. Super fun. But I realized recently they filmed their stuff at Capital Arts, and I realized because when I was looking around, I saw the cop area, and I was like, wait, I just saw that on my TV the other day.
That's funny.
I mean, everything. Am I missing anything major?
I mean, I don't think so. I think one of my favorite moments was the river moment. There's like a little river that was supposed to be happening, and watching them create this river, and like people standing in this man-made little river in a ditch, with like knee-high like rubber boots, trying to create this river that when they were digging it out, so much dirt got into it that it just became a muddy mess.
Oh, God,
and then there was a moment we had to drive up on top of this hill because, as Isabella said, there was this cabin that they had built and it was on top of this hill. And I had a truck at the time, and I was like, hey, can I? I was like, can I drive us up to the top? And so we all piled into not all of us, but as many as we could fit piled into the truck, and drove to the top of this hill on this dirt road. And so it's like a really narrow dirt road. And so I pull I'm driving, I drive the truck up right up to the cabin. And then I don't realize that there's not really a way to turn around for when we leave. So whenever I went to turn around, and I went to back up, and Isabella's mom was in the car, and she was like, Matt, just back the whole way down. And I was like, I got this. So I go to back up, and I almost fully run over one of the electrical boxes that I think I got yelled at by like 7 people. Like, no, stop. So there was that. Almost drove us off the mountain. Just kidding. I didn't almost drive us off a mountain.
It's fine when it's an actor. An actor can do it. Nobody else can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There were no safety concerns at all.
None. No. The funny thing is, there weren't any. It was just Matt. Matt was the safety concern.
Oh, okay. Well, listen.
Okay. It was just Matt. We had a sign on the back of him just said safety concern and big capital.
Safety concern. That's what that weight over my shoulders was the whole time.
That's what that was. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny. And I know, Isabella, you say you don't like horror, but are there any horror films that you both love to watch?
See, my preference with horror, I'll specify in that I don't dislike horror. I just don't like stuff that to me could actually happen. That's what freaks me out. Like somebody breaking into my house. I don't want to watch that when I live by myself. Like Annabelle freaks me out. Can't watch it. Like any haunted house movies, not gonna happen. But I don't mind like cheesy horror, and I don't mind the concept of like slasher horror, because realistically that's not gonna happen. So I don't mind that. It's the like creepy stuff that could happen that scares the living daylights out of me. But I don't know what would be my favorite. What about you, Matt?
My favorite by far is the Annabelle Conjuring universe. Those movies are like my favorite horror movies. And I actually I love those movies so much. I've been in a really, really big, which is perfect for what we're talking about, Isabella, but I've been in a really big like slasher mood. Like I want to do a slasher so bad.
You definitely
like, so
should.
bad. I think it would be a blast, but yeah, I think my favorites are the Annabelle Conjuring movies. Those movies, they terrify me. And I think they scare me so much because slashers don't scare me as much as like the Annabelle Conjuring stuff, because the Annabelle Conjuring stuff, what scares me about it is that it's like, actually they're based on true stories.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
exactly.
like
That's why it scares me.
that's what's so scary. That's what's so scary is like that stuff actually happened and it can happen, and that's why it terrifies me. But also they're just really well made horror movies.
That's why I don't watch them.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one movie that's supposed to be the scariest movie of all time about the like legend of the Australian boogeyman, the Baba something or other? What is
The Babadook.
That's the one.
Babadook?
So I've never finished
scary.
it. I've never
It's
finished
supposed
it.
to be like one of the scariest movies of all time.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah. I haven't finished it because same thing. I got halfway through and I was like,
Yeah, that's how I felt. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why.
felt.
If anyone says, if someone who likes horror tells me something scary, I'm not going to watch it.
sure.
Because then I know it's terrifying.
Yeah. The Conjuring 2, in my opinion, is one of the scariest, at least in my, and maybe it was just because of the mood I was in when I watched it, because I watched it recently and it scared the crap out of me. Although, you know what movie, sorry, I'm going on, I love
okay,
horror.
go for it.
You know what movie really, well, okay, two. One that really scared me when I was growing up was The Grudge. That movie horrified me, still horrifies me.
Yes.
However, recently,
that
Lights
creepy
Out.
voice.
Yes. But recently, Lights Out. Terrifying movie. If you haven't seen it, Isabella, go watch it with Marco. You guys will see your plan.
I don't think she'll want to see that.
If I do, I'll watch it with the sound off.
I don't know if that's gonna help.
No, it's
Oh, really?
not.
Oh,
Yeah, because that one truly is. That one has some visuals that are like
It does.
really
really scary.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
God. Okay.
yeah. That movie freaked me out.
1 a.m. being like, what have you done? I can't sleep. Why did you make me
Meanwhile, I'm
watch
like-
that?
Yeah, but the Grudge, that noise that the little boy makes, oh my God. That's creepy.
Nope.
And
It's like
the
it's giving me
how
chills
she
thinking about
appears out of nowhere with that face. Oh
it.
my
Yeah.
God.
No. I'm good. I'm actually good.
The only thing in that movie that wasn't scary was actually Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Sarah Michelle Gellar. She's awesome.
Buffy.
Yeah, who doesn't love her?
Yeah.
I know exactly. But did any of you ever see like the real doll, Annabelle doll? Like that, the doll that they used for the movie isn't
It's
Annabelle.
It's a rat. It's like one of those
Raggedy Ann
dolls.
Yeah.
Which is honestly more scary.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, because it's such a sweet little looking doll, but it's like,
Yes.
Well,
exactly.
see, I've never been someone that's scared of dolls. I grew up loving American Girl dolls. They don't freak me out personally. Like some types of dolls do, like the really old ones do, but dolls aren't something that's scary to me.
Okay.
But that type of doll in Annabelle scares me. That's the type of doll that terrifies me to my core.
see, dolls freak. I don't like dolls. I don't
so I
like
shouldn't
dolls.
bring over American Girl dolls and leave the door and then knock on it.
Please don't. I might move out if you do that.
That was on my schedule actually this evening.
But if there's a knock at my door, I open the door and there's just a doll sitting there, I'm actually fleeing the country.
You're giving me ideas. Don't do that. You're lucky. I don't know where you live now. You moved, so you're.
You're right.
So I take you wouldn't want to see him in the background, like you wouldn't want to see that doll, Chuck.
No,
right?
no, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Okay.
like I can live without it.
What about songs? Like, what kind of music is on both of your playlists?
I have a lot of empowerment songs at the moment, honestly, songs that make me feel like screaming really loudly in my car.
There you go.
Is great. My favorite song that I have on repeat right now is Do It Like a Girl by Morgan St. Jean. I love that song. And if you haven't heard it, you should listen to it because it gives me chills every time I listen to it. So that's what I have on repeat at the moment.
I have always and will always love country music.
Okay.
Although I've kind of fallen out of so I used to be really bad about only listening to country. I would listen to like strictly country music. Excuse me. And I would listen to solely country music, and I've really come out of my shell with that now. So I like a lot of different kinds of music. But right now I'm really into Post Malone. I love some Post Malone right now.
I love Post
Yeah.
I love Post Malone. Actually, Post Malone and The Weeknd, for some reason, like within the last, and I know what it is. So since Halloween, I love Halloween, love horror. Halloween,
Yes, I'm the
Universal
same.
had Halloween Horror Nights. They had a Weeknd themed maze.
Yeah.
And they had all his music playing, and I was like, dang, this is good music. And so ever since then, I've been listening to The Weeknd, and so now I'm very much so in my Weeknd phase. And so The Weeknd and Post Malone are my two right now.
Weeknd is so talented. Did you listen to Dawn FM all the way through?
No, not all the way through.
You got to do it. You got to start from the beginning and just follow the tracks because they all go into each other.
That's crazy. Yeah, I listened to a couple, but I haven't listened to it all the way through.
Listen to the whole thing. It's funny. You made me think you're going through the maze and you're listening to the music and someone jumps out and you're like, shh, I'm trying to listen to what this song is.
Yeah.
Wait. You're like, not now.
Yeah.
And if you both were out in the bar having some drinks and wanted to do a karaoke song, what would be your song?
Karaoke. Depends what mood I'm in.
True. However,
You have you're ready.
Well, here's the thing, and it would never have crossed my mind until just recently. I was on a cruise, and there was this couple that sang this song, and it was the most iconic karaoke moment I've ever seen in my entire life. It was Love Shack.
Oh, the B-52s.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it was this like couple. They were like probably both in their 50s, and they just rocked it. And I was like, this is becoming my new karaoke song.
I love it.
Because you can get everyone involved. You can get everyone like knock on the door, baby. Dun, dun, dun. Like it's so good.
Yes, definitely.
Karaoke's a hard one because I feel like
I just fell off my chair. Don't worry about it.
You're fine. Nobody saw that. We'll just pretend we didn't see that.
Woo!
Spin around and just off the side. That's always my favorite moments. Just it's karaoke is so much pressure though.
It
because
is.
you can't just pick a song that you can sing. You have to pick a song that everyone else knows.
Yes.
Because
yes.
otherwise everyone like boos you. It's very stressful, honestly. It's as an actor who really just like the job I chose is one that requires people to judge me. I don't like being judged. And so like when I'm choosing a karaoke song and I'm deciding to sing something, it's terrifying. It's really terrifying.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I don't do a lot of karaoke because it's scary because people are judging you from what song you chose. Not even your voice. It's just the song you choose.
Yeah.
That's the only judgment. But
You could be the worst singer in the world, and if it's a good song,
if it's I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston, you're done.
That's hard. That's hard. Yeah.
I would probably do something like Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood because that's a classic. I'd probably do. I want to look at my Spotify. Watch this right now. Watch this happen. I'm going to tell you because I have liked songs. Okay, so I would definitely do Before He Cheats. And just because it's so fun, I'd probably do something like Industry Baby by Lil Nas X.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that's just a fun one that gets just everyone dancing with that bass.
Definitely.
I love bassy music. I like feeling it.
Yeah.
Nice. I was actually just on a cruise too, Matt. I don't know if you follow wrestling or not, but
A little bit.
Chris Jericho, he has a cruise he does every year, and I go on it. I love it. It's so much fun.
That's sold. He's like,
what?
Yes, he does a cruise every year, and he has a ring on the ship, and he has wrestling matches, and then he goes on stage with his band, Fozzy. And then they do a show. Then he has like a bunch of rock bands, and they're on stage. And then he has wrestling matches. He has game shows.
Crazy!
Oh my God, so much fun! It's
wow.
So fun.
Okay, that's something to look into. That's something to look into.
Like, I will be there.
That's so cool. I had no clue.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And, what's your go-to junk food? I mean, I know you both probably eat healthy and you both are in shape, but like, is there like a junk food that you both eat, like?
Go ahead.
McDonald's fries.
You know, my number one will always be a good, fresh, hot chocolate chip cookie. And now listen, now hear me out, okay? McDonald's, okay? They make chocolate chip cookies.
Mhm.
You have to ask for them fresh, and you can get for $3.99. Well, depending on where you're at, they're actually cheaper where my family lives in Arkansas, but in California, they're $3.99 or $4.99. I don't know, something like that.
Inflation. Ugh.
And I know. 13 cookie tote. So you get 13 cookies.
Uh-huh.
You have to ask for them fresh, but if you get a 13 cookie tote, fresh hot chocolate chip cookies from McDonald's, best chocolate chip cookie you'll ever have, hands down.
Okay, well, I need to
Really?
do that because there's one on the
So
road.
good. They are
Oh.
so, but only if you get them fresh. They're not good if you don't get them fresh, because like sometimes McDonald's, like they sit out for like, they'll sit out for like 4 days and they get hard and they try to get rid of.
Any
You
chocolate
have to-
chip cookies that aren't fresh are terrible.
Yeah, you have to specify that you want them made fresh, and they're incredible. And I spend a lot of money on McDonald's cookies.
See, it's a surprise for me. I have a ritual when I babysit, because I babysit down in South Bay, and so it's a far drive for me. But when I'm coming back at like midnight, I stop at the
Mhm.
McDonald's, I get a large fries, and I burn the sides of my mouth from eating them too quickly because they're still so hot and salty. And I get a large sweet iced tea. That's my, you know what? Now I want fries. Crap.
I know. There's a very good chance I order McDonald's after this.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I'm bummed because in England for a minute, and I haven't lived there for so long, but in England for a minute, they were doing like Beyond Burgers and McDonald's. It was like a menu thing, but you could ask for them, and then they don't do it over here. And I'm like, LA is of all places the place you should do that. I would eat it. Like Carl's Jr. has a Beyond Burger. I'm like, sold, done. Fast food is for me still. This is great.
Yeah. Wow.
Damn, yeah, you know what? I'm actually craving McDonald's now.
Okay, maybe we should all just go
Get some cookies. Get some cookies. If you get it, get them fresh.
I'm definitely going to answer that next time.
They're good.
And when will the film be out? Do you have like a time frame, when?
Well, we are finishing up post-production at the moment and then going into distribution soon after that. So I don't have a date right now. I mean, when I say definitely, I mean definitely with some asterisks next to it, but definitely this year. My caveats being if something crazy happens. I mean, someone could have looked at 2020 and go, it's definitely coming out this year, and then COVID happened and everything went apart. So who knows? But my goal is for it to be, I'll say that, my goal is for it to be coming out this year. I mean, I'd love it to be Halloween, but who knows, because it never works out the way we all hope it does. But yeah, we're finishing up post-production at the moment, and then we'll go into full press with everyone. I'd love to do a big press day and then have a premiere as the goal. So lots of fun stuff coming up before it does come out, lots to look forward to. The trailer will drop first, and it'll be a poster. We're getting the poster done soon. So it's very exciting stuff, but I don't have a date just yet. But as soon as I do, everyone will know.
Okay. Well, I mean, when it comes out, I will definitely watch it. And even if it's in theaters, and try to make it where I live at in Philadelphia so I could go see.
That would be awesome. I would love that. Theater release would be the dream.
There you go. And lastly, where could fans follow you both, the film? And
I mean, the easiest place for me is Instagram. I kind of, Instagram is really the only social that I'm like actually active on, and I'm not even super active on it. I should get better at it, but yeah. So Instagram is just my name, Matt Cornett.
I can attest he's not very active on it, but you should be
Listen, I'm more active than any other though. I'm really not active on like Twitter or anything, TikTok or
Twitter. It's hard. There's so many.
Yeah.
I look at TikTok, but I never post. I'm just doom scrolling when I'm supposed to be in bed. But for me, it's Instagram as well. At Isabella_B_T. And the movie doesn't have its own Instagram, but honestly, us as cast, we're all posting about it when things come out. So that'll be the best way to keep an eye out for it. But yeah, that's the same for me. I have all the others, but that's the one I'm most active on. You're welcome to follow me on TikTok, but I don't post anything. So it's the same name. I post some music occasionally, but that's about it.
Okay. I mean, I could actually see you and Matt doing one of those trends, like one of those TikTok trends that they do.
We should find some TikTok. Maybe that's what we should do for Karma Press leading up to it. We'll get everyone together and do some TikToks and release them, because that could be fun.
Do some big TikTok trends.
Yeah, we should just find the number one and just do them really badly, because that's the ones everyone loves.
Yeah, I could do that. 100%.
He's like, yeah, I could do that. Well, thank you both so much. I really had such a fun time with this.
So
Like,
great.
I did as well.
You both are great, amazing. Like, I really love talking to you two. It was fun. It was.
Yeah, it was a blast. Thank you so much.
We had a blast as well, and it's always fun to talk about the movie and share anecdotes and get people excited about it, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, and talk about Jericho's cruise.
And McDonald's cookies.
Yes.
McDonald's cookies.
And the fries. Don't diss the fries.
And the fries.
And
the fries. Yes.
Cookies and fries together. Maybe this is the combination we've been missing.
I know, exactly.
Fries
Wow,
on
that's big.
Whoa.
That's big.
Okay,
Well,
that's different. That's different. All right. Thanks again for doing this, and definitely have a great night while we all go eat McDonald's now.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Go McDonald's. All shout out to McDonald's.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rocco.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.